I'm devastated. Never thought I'd get up and get the news that my daughter was shot.
Now at 11, families, friends, the nation still in shock tonight, working to process the unthinkable. How the people in our area are paying tribute to the victims of the Vegas massacre.
Just random people stopping and helping people and picking people up off the ground and dragging them through the bar because they couldn't walk.
And in all the chaos, we're hearing now of stories of incredible spirit, hope, and kindness as bullets rain down. 4 out of the countless reports of bravery and sacrifice.
It was pre-planned extensively, and I'm pretty sure he evaluated everything that he did.
But first, police continue their investigation into the shooter, which new details we've learned tonight about Stephen Paddock. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm John Carl.
And I'm Lindsay Ward. Authorities are retracing the steps of the Las Vegas gunman who murdered 59 people and injured hundreds in the days and weeks leading up to the massacre.
Yeah, they're looking closely at a 6-figure bank transfer to the Philippines where his girlfriend has family ties, as well as if he had eyed another music festival in the city as a potential target. Sarah Dolph has the story.
There's gunshots right here.
A look inside the chaos of the Las Vegas massacre.
Go that way!
Police body cameras show officers providing cover fire and helping concert goers to safety.
Go, 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 go.
Inside Mandalay Bay, authorities found a suite transformed into a sniper's perch, with cameras positioned inside and outside the room.
I anticipate he was looking for anybody coming to take him into custody.
He checked in the Thursday before the massacre, bringing along 23 guns in 10 suitcases. At least one had been modified with a device allowing it to fire more quickly. Hundreds of rounds raining down per minute.
It happened all so fast, and it was such a huge incident, and I'm a part of it. And I don't really want to be.
Investigators are combing through the gunman's finances, including a $100,000 transfer to the Philippines, where his girlfriend, who's now considered a person of interest, has family ties. He was also gambling heavily, in excess of $10,000 a day, 16 times in the months leading up to the shooting. As law enforcement combs the concert venue, littered with belongings left behind, the city's fire chief is asking exhausted first responders to take a break.
It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to cry.
Icons of the famed Las Vegas Strip reflecting the city's grief, as investigators continue to search for a motive behind the worst mass shooting in modern U.S. history. In Las Vegas, Sarah Dolph, NBC News.
And tonight, students at Virginia Tech are remembering the victims of that shooting in Las Vegas.
This year marks the 10th since the mass shooting at Tech, and tonight students met on the drill field for a vigil, hoping to show solidarity with those hurting across the country.
WSLS 10's Rob Manch was there for us, and he has the details tonight.
With the light of a candle, a group of students at Virginia Tech took the time Tuesday to think about those in mourning all across the country. It's the type of tragedy many of them know all too well.
It brings back memories. I mean, not always good memories, do you know what I mean? But there is good, because it's like we came together as a community, and like that's why I love Blacksburg so much.
That coming together is what vigil organizer Tobias Sweeney says the country needs now more than ever.
I've seen a lot of people trying to find blame and specifically put it on a certain group for this shooting, and I just really want to see people move away from that and to just to like come together and understand that we can unite and fight this hatred.
Following the vigil, students wrote messages on a sheet that will be sent to the trauma center in Las Vegas where the shooting victims are being treated.
I can't even imagine what they're going through. And just like, even though I'm not there, because I physically can't just drive to them or just like plane over there, just like giving them a little message like, hey, like we're still thinking about you, even though like I don't even know you.
What we want to tell them through this is that we stand with them, we pray for them, we mourn for them, and we cry for them.
Sweeney says, in addition to thoughts and prayers, he's encouraging people to take action.
But I also want us to have an impact on the people in Las Vegas. If we can donate money or blood, I wanted to encourage people to do that.
We'll get through it together, basically, and that we're always thinking about them, because it's like we know of what it's like, especially here at Tech.
A message of love and understanding that will be sent from here in Blacksburg thousands of miles to those who need to hear it most. In Blacksburg, Rob Manch, WSLS 10.
There was also a vigil here in the Star City tonight. Several gathered at Calvary Baptist Church in Roanoke to pray for the Las Vegas shooting victims and their families.
And as police continue to identify victims tonight, the mother of a Virginia Tech shooting survivor says while she was saddened and angered by the events in Vegas, she's not surprised. Lori Haas' daughter Emily survived the massacre at Virginia Tech. She says that she remembers the indescribable panic and the fear and overwhelming emotions, feelings that many tonight are still dealing with as they wait for news about their loved ones. Police in Las Vegas say only 3 victims remain unidentified.
For them to find out their loved ones have been killed, I just can't fathom it. For those whose loved ones were, in some weird way lucky enough to survive this, the journey just never ends.
Haas says she is frustrated, asking why we're, quote, not learning anything from all these shootings. She says she'll continue to call for change and wants to focus on the victims and the survivors.
Meanwhile, a Virginia Beach couple is recovering in the hospital tonight after they were shot during the Las Vegas attack. 28-year-old Allison Crute and her boyfriend Andrew Camp were both near the concert stage when the gunfire began. Crute, a UVA graduate, was shot in the arm and has to have multiple surgeries. According to family members, her boyfriend was hit with shrapnel but didn't need surgery. Allison's father says he wasn't aware of the shooting until her phone call woke him up.
She could have easily have been one of those numbers, and it gives me an even deeper sense of compassion that we all already feel for the people that have lost.
There's a GoFundMe page created to help with medical bills. It's already brought in more than $19,000. Social media played a big role in the Las Vegas shooting, as it has with many other recent tragedies. While it was helpful in many ways, the instant outreach also caused some big issues. Now, some of the first images we saw of the shooting, videos taken by concert goers, quickly went viral on social media. We also saw misinformation spread rapidly on everything from the number of suspects to the identities of the victims.
We need to teach people how to evaluate the media that they're looking at and how to know if it's true or false, or at least how to double check it.
Representatives from Twitter, Facebook, and Google all say they're working quickly to prevent the spread of false information online.
And tonight, powerful acts of kindness from the Las Vegas massacre are points of light in the darkness of all the chaos.
One bartender who stayed to comfort a dying man, a husband who died to save his wife, a couple who helped evacuate the wounded. Dozens of first responders who were both on and off duty working together to save countless lives.
And tonight we have for you just a few of the stories of those who came together amidst the horror, shows of love and selflessness. First of all, as the gunfire began, Brian Hopkins, the lead singer of a band who regularly performed in Vegas, says that he knew he needed to take action. The singer noticed a large walk-in freezer backstage near the catering station where he and his bandmates were enjoying the concert. Hopkins says when he heard the gunfire and saw 2 people go down right in front of him, he noticed the freezer.
So I helped everyone out that I could inside this cooler. And it was literally a freezer, but it was the size of a tray. So we opened up the door and just started lifting people up into the thing. It was about 5 feet off the ground.
Hopkins helped over 24 people get inside that freezer. He says many inside worked to calm others down while they waited for the gunfire to stop. And then once it did, he and others rushed to help get other people over the fence and out of harm's way.
25-year-old Jordan McIldoon of Maple Ridge, British Columbia, was one of the 59 people killed in Sunday's mass shooting at the concert. Heather Goose says she stayed with him as he died in her arms. She was working as a bartender at the festival.
I was there until about 3:30 in the morning, so for about 4 hours, I was sitting with him. I didn't want him to be there alone. There was another guy that was by us. His wife had been shot and killed, the mother of his 3 kids, and he never left her side. And I didn't want Jordan to not have somebody with him.
Jordan was at the concert with his girlfriend who survived the shooting. Heather talked to her on the phone from Jordan's side, but she was not allowed back into the area. Jordan's parents say he was a construction mechanic apprentice and was about to start trade school in Canada.
And another man gave his life for love. 29-year-old Sonny Melton of West Tennessee became one of the victims. The registered nurse was protecting his wife, Heather. She says that he grabbed her and started running when the bullets began to rain down.
He loved her. I think it was just second nature to him to do something like that.
And says she wants to know what a kind and loving man her husband was.
Video of shooting survivors asking a couple to use their truck to transport people wounded in the Las Vegas shooting went viral on Facebook Monday. Lindsay Pageant and Mark J. were trying to leave the Route 91 Music Festival when they encountered people helping victims. They loaded several wounded people onto the truck and met up with an ambulance while trying to get to the hospital. Jay talked about helping transfer victims from the bed of his truck to that ambulance.
He's just alive. They're like he's gone. We put him down, picked up a girl, put her in, another guy that had gunshot wounds in his chest. His fingers were literally holding in from the blood coming out. And then, yeah, they're like, just put that kid down. And I was like, I can't leave him here. So we threw him in the back of the truck.
Many have been calling Pageant and Jay heroes for helping transport the victims. They say they just did what they had to do.
And now the kindness continues as across the nation, hundreds donating money, time, and goods. And even today, people were waiting for hours in line to give blood to help the hundreds of victims, several of which could need days, weeks, and even months of medical care. But blood donation centers across the country are reaching out to the community for help. The American Red Cross is on the ground in Las Vegas and has opened a support shelter for victims and their families. Here in the Star City, Red Cross staff are encouraging everyone to donate and to help keep the shelves stocked just in case. Virginia Blood Services in Salem also reaching out. The company that owns the donation center there also owns the one in Las Vegas.
Virginia Blood Services has sent blood to Las Vegas to help our sister centers. It's so important that people come out and donate, just not today or tomorrow because of the tragedy, but every day.
So far, Virginia Blood Services has already sent hundreds of units of blood to Vegas. County officials in Las Vegas have created a GoFundMe page that's raised more than $3.2 million.
Now, these stories tonight are only some of countless acts of kindness as the nation and the world are coming together to grieve for those lost and remember those who are still fighting for their lives.
As the investigations into the shooting continue, more details will come to light about a timeline full of tragedy and heartbreak, but also likely of heroism.
We've been following this story closely since it began early Monday morning, and we'll have the latest on this story coming up in the morning on Virginia Today starting at 5 a.m. In the meantime, there's more information on our website. Just log on to WSLS.com. You can also get late breaking news, updates, and alerts on our mobile app. Still ahead tonight at 11, the president makes the first of two back-to-back disaster visits to two very different zones. How his trip to Puerto Rico went today in the wake of the war of words with one Puerto Rican mayor.